Hi, Dr. Mora. I hope you're doing well. Uh, as we talked before, I set up this experiment to demonstrate what each pair of this delay does in the code. As I mentioned before, this delay is saying how long the actuator have to wait on top of each magnet. So originally it was 1 second, and this one is for safety measure, as I told. If it's a small value, what happens here is that the actuator start flaking on the magnet. So what it does, it means that lock your decision for at least 3 seconds. What it helps to do is that it lets the magnet, the actuator, to pass the magnet without changing decisions. If it's a small value, about like if it's around 100 milliseconds, what happens, it will fluctuating on the magnet before passing it. So a number above like 1.2 second, as I did the experiment, is good enough. And also if it is too big value, it means that lock on this decision for that long period, which we don't want it. So a number between 1.2 second up to 4 second would be proper for this one. Again, what I've done here is just a simple code. It has definitely bugs. I just worked on it for an hour. It could be improved a lot, and it's not what finally you need to add to your piece of code. It's just a simple code to demonstrate how to control the position of an actuator using a Hall sensor. So this one is showing how long you should wait on the magnet. This one is showing how much you have to keep this decision before changing the decision. It helps passing the magnet. If it's a small value, it will just fluctuate on the magnet. If it's a big value, the code will not respond to the value of the sensor. It will just be locked until that big amount. If it's like, for example, 10 second, it means that freeze the code for 10 second and do not take order from anything. So we don't want it a big value, we don't want it a small value. So to demonstrate how it works, I first run the original code, which was waiting at least 3 seconds and waiting 1 second here. So what this code does, it waits 1 second here, 1 second here. And when it changed the polarity, before changing any other decision, it needs at least 3 seconds. So what will happen here is like this. Wait 1 second. Keep this decision for 3 seconds. Wait here 1 second. Get back here. If I move this, you see it still goes. So it shows that it's not taking order from the times that are mentioned here, 3 seconds or 1 second. It's only responsive to the position of the Hall sensor. So to demonstrate the role of this one, I'll change this to 100 milliseconds, and we'll see what will happen. What is expected to happen is that when it reaches a Hall sensor, it will change its decision each 100 milliseconds, which we don't want. We want a value enough to pass the Hall sensor, which is about 1.2 seconds based on the experiment that I've done. So I'm going to run this, to upload this. That's what will happen. So before it passes the Hall sensor, it will do just stock in here. So we don't want this one. Also, if it's a big value, for example 8 seconds or 10 seconds, it will not take order from Hall sensor anymore. For example, let's put it to 10 seconds. So in this case, it will not respond to the Hall sensor. So what we are telling the code is basically just keep your decision, whatever decision you made, keep it for 10 seconds, no matter what the value of the Hall sensor is. So what will happen when it reaches the Hall sensor, it will just neglect it and it just goes down or goes up. Upload the code. So right now, when it sees the magnet, because it reaches the magnet below 10 seconds, it will neglect the magnet and it just goes and passes it, which we don't want it. It has a delay because it has to wait 10 seconds. That's how the code is written. And after 10 seconds, it will start moving. Now, it neglected, as I mentioned, and it goes all the way back, which we don't want it. So that was the role of the second delay. It is to force the code to keep the decision for at least an amount to pass the magnet before fluctuating over it. So I recommend some value between 1.2 up to 3 for this experiment. So I'll put it like around 1.5. Okay. Now we go to the first delay. As I mentioned, the role of this relay is just to stop on top of the magnet based on this value. If it's 0, it means that do not wait on the magnet, just like whenever you reach the magnet, just instantly change your direction. This one means wait for 1 second and change your direction. So first let's run this code, the normal code, and I'll change this to 3 seconds, and second time I'll change it to 0 seconds. The first case it waits 3 seconds on the magnet, and the second case it will not wait on the magnet, just changing polarity instantly. So let's run this code, the normal one. This one is expected to 1 second. Okay. And one more thing. Right now, I'm just changing the position of the magnet to just show again. I think that it is not taking order from the relays. I'll change this, and whenever it reaches them, it will just stop. Okay. Now I'll change this to 5 seconds, which means wait on top of the magnet for 5 seconds. One, two. The first time takes a little longer. One, two, three, four. One, two, three, four, five. One, two, three. Okay. Now I'll change it to 0. So it's expected not to wait over the magnet, just instantly change the direction. No waiting. I'll add some comment to this code. This code was just like a simple way to demonstrate how to control an actuator based on the value that it takes from the Hall sensor. It's not perfect. That's one way to do what is needed to be done based on this code, or maybe other methods. I'm sure there could be like a lot of ways to do one task, in programming. There's a lot of way. That was one way it came to my mind. There could be another way. There could be like better ways. There could be a worse way. It was just I did it like I thought about it like for 1 hour, and yeah, I think that's enough. And thank you for listening and looking in these videos. It takes a long time. Okay, bye.